Hey you guys, this is Mickey Williams on My Life Out Loud with Mickey. I was coming back to you with another video because I wanted to finish the one that I was making earlier today, but the phone got so hot that it went out, so I just wanted to finish it up. Part of what I was saying was about being the old wineskins becoming new wineskins, okay? So this is the season for people to cross over into your next. That's what I want to say. And this is a season of your faith needing to have long faith, meaning that your faith needs to be activated at all times. This is not a time where you get to a point of faith and then you jump in and out of faith. No, you can't jump in and out of faith. That's the problem. That's the issue. Because you're jumping in and out of faith, that means you're jumping in and out of your belief system, okay? Your faith activates your belief system. Okay, so when you have faith, you believe. When you believe, you trust God. And when you trust God, you wait for his perfect plan for your life. All right, so all I can say to that is that there's some people that's about to cross over. And in my one video, I gave a lot of instruction from God in that hour that he was giving me. And I shared it with you all because I want us all to make it. It's so important to me that I meet all of you guys on the other side of this, and that I can see all the testimonies of the greatness because of the people that waited, the people that endured, the people thought that they wouldn't make it this far, but they did. I'm so excited for you guys. I'm excited for those who made it out of Egypt to the wilderness. Now those that are making it out of the wilderness, crossing over into their promised land. This is a very, 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 very important time for some people. So I just want to say, to God be the glory, and that you guys continue to show up and show out for God as he is going to show up and show out for you. Okay? And remember, this situation with your integrity, with your respect for God when you walk into those rooms, and wisdom, and most of all your faith walk, with your faith talk, because you cannot get halfway through the battle and stop and forget about your faith. Okay, that's what Peter did, and he almost sank. It wasn't the fact that Peter didn't have big faith, but when he got in that water and he started walking, somehow fear kicked in and his faith kicked out. So your faith has to have just as much endurance as your pain did. Okay? You can't allow your pain to win this race. Your faith has to make it to the finish line. All right? So at the end of the day, this is where you're at. Okay? And you're not alone. And God had to show me, people think that they're so alone in so many things, but I've gotten testimonies of people who are out there and they feel as though that they're in the wilderness. And I can only imagine, when Israelites was in the wilderness, it was thousands of them. But when you're in the wilderness, it feels like you're by yourself. It was something that a woman said to me a long time ago. And well, she didn't really say it to me. I was asking questions. And I was asking questions and say, why does people always say that you're not alone when you're alone, right? So I asked 3 people. Everybody was like, well, I don't really know. You know, I mean, everybody just always feels like they're alone, and I guess you're not alone. I mean, you can pick up the phone, you can call somebody, and that's good. That's not alone, right? You can go out. God always be like, you sit in the house and you don't want to be in the house, go outside. You know, and that's good. So you're not alone. But the number one answer for me, out of all 3 of, I think it was 3 people, out of all 3 of those people, was the one person who said, the reason why, no, let me take that back. The time I got to the 3rd person, God gave me the answer, because she started to tell her testimony to me about how she felt like she was alone and the situation that she was in. In that moment, God gave me revelation, and he said to me, that's why you're not alone. It's because there's other people that's pressing towards the mark. There's other people that's trying to make it, not just you, but other people. So you are not alone in this walk. There's other people trying their best not to die while they're trying to get through the wilderness, why they thirst, why they hunger, why they're walking through dry places and have no idea of where they are. They too are trying to get to the promised land. Okay, so you are not alone. There's other people trying to get to the promised land. And that's why in this season, it is very important that iron sharpens iron, that you use your wisdom, that you stand up in your integrity, that you have diligence, and that you continue to seek God's face in those times of trouble. And I can't say enough. Pray, 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 pray. Pray when you feel like your back is up against the wall. Pray when you feel like you're tired. Pray when you feel like you can't figure it out. Pray. Pray when you feel weary and well-doing, because what good is, evil is always present. So trust and believe that you are not alone. The footsteps of a righteous man is ordered by God. You are not alone. Okay? You are not alone. There's other people trying to get to the promised land. And when you get there, you'll see. Because you know how you're going to see there? You're going to know how you're going to see that you wasn't alone. Because all them places that you've been trying to rush to, there was people that took their time. And when you get there, you're going to hear their testimonies. You're going to know that they were there. They might have been there before you, but at one point in their life, they was in the waiting room. At one point in their life, they was in the wilderness. At some point in their life, they got basically, God has saved them from their enemies. Okay? Everybody has a testimony. So just hold on and hold out, because your testimony is going to be good. And what did the doctor tell the monkey before he cut off his tail? I know y'all want to know. It won't be long now. Right around the corner. You on your way to your next, and whatever your next is, it's still going to feel better than what you were in before. Your next is always better than what you're coming out of. Okay? And that's going to give you more strength to fight and endure each day. What also, as I was sitting here before I made this video, God gave me something important as well. And I thought, wow, God, that's deep. He gave me more than that, and I'll come back with it sooner than later, right? But I don't want to make these videos super duper long on you guys, and I don't mind, but I like to break it up so that way I give you a little bit at a time. And that leads me to what I'm about to say. God said, your portion for the day, when you say, God, give me my portion for today. Give me my believing heart. But my portion for today is let my faith make it through today. Don't let my faith run out today. Let it make it through today. In Jesus' name. Okay? I love you guys with the love of Christ. And I know that we're on our way. People are crossing over right now as we speak. The signs and wonders that I saw today told me, oh my God, something is about to happen. And it's going to be ginormous. Okay? Hold on. You're almost there. You're almost there. Whatever your almost there is, just know it won't be long now. I love you guys in Jesus' name. Hey everybody, this is Mickey Williams on My Life Out Loud with Mickey. Let's talk about it. Okay, so for the last couple of days, I've been getting word after word after word. I mean, it's been strong, you guys. It's been strong word. It's like everything that God said that he was going to do with me, everything that he said he was going to do through me, I'm seeing it come into fruition right now, but inside of me. Okay? So he has done this work inside of me, like he's done this furniture moving inside of me, and now I can see the glory of God shining through me. Okay? So all I can say is whatever is next, I feel is everything that's going to happen externally. All right? Because I can see everything that's happening in me, coming out of me, and it's so amazing to see. It's a great feeling. I feel good. I'm gonna tell you, I feel good, and the best part about it is shedding them frequencies that you no longer need. But I'm gonna tell you also, that's the part of being obedient, is letting God know that you love him that much. And so then therefore God comes in and he does the work. Okay, well, if you're willing to do this and do that, he's not going to leave you where you are. So if you decide, okay, I'm going to walk away from this people, I'm going to walk away from this relationship, I'm going to walk away from this job, it's like God is not going to leave you where you're at if he asks you to do a thing. Now, it depends on your schedule. Okay, because God has a scheduled time for everything. So it's going to depend on your schedule and where God has you at, and that's going to determine, you know what I'm saying, your next. So if you're in your beginning stages, I don't know how long you have. You know, you might be more obedient than others. You know, you might get it done in the timing that God needs you to get it done in. You might not be like the children of Israel, where it should have took them 11 days and take them 40 years, right? So there's different levels for different people, okay? So different strokes for different folks, right? The level that I'm on right now, I'm enjoying. I am enjoying where I am in my mind, okay? In my head space. That is the most important thing, is when you know where you are in your head space. And I think once God showed me, so I just did a video, and I just want to go back on this video, because I said some things from my heart, okay? And when I say it from my heart, I mean it. You know, there's always been times in my life where I always felt like that I had to be on a certain level with certain people, because, you know, we started from the bottom, now we're here. I know I seen what you had to go through, you seen what I had to go through, but sometimes you can go through things with people, but sometimes you grow out of those things, okay? So if you've grown out of them things, no, you do not think that you're better than anybody, but now that you know that you're not that same person, where you're not going to pick up the phone, you don't want to listen to the gossip no more just to have a friend, you don't want to say, oh, you want to go to this place that you know you really don't want to go to because you've been their friend for so long. You really want to say no, but you don't know how to say no. You know what I mean? It's your walk with God and where you're trying to go is going to determine your no and your yes, right? So whatever you're going to say yes to, that's going to be the most important thing. Whatever you're going to say no to, that's going to be the next important thing, okay? So your no and your yes in this season is very, very, very valuable to where you're trying to get to. You don't want to be in rooms that you don't really fit anymore. That's uncomfortable, right? And then you don't want to be dealing with people that you know that you've grown out of, but you don't really know how to separate yourself from these people, because you kind of get a glimpse of the new people that you can meet, but you haven't had any solid friendships. So you're really trying to hold on to those old friendships and those old relationships, those old situations, those old places, is because you really have nothing to compare it to yet. Very understandable, okay? But what I'm telling you now is going to require your strength. It's going to require your strength, your yes and your no. The power of your yes and no is going to be very valuable in this season, okay? So I've said that twice, so it means a lot. Now, it doesn't mean that you think that you're better than anyone, but you are better if you're trying to strive for something different. If you're not trying to sit around and gossip about people. If you're not trying to just, you know, settle for things anymore. If you're trying to get a better job. If you're trying to go to school and they want you to go smoke and they want you to go drink, but you want to go to class. Come on now, right? You can pay for school, but you can't buy class. Come on. I'm just saying, if this is the level that you're trying to get to and you don't think that you can get to that level, you're going to have to take risk in this season to understand that you can get there, and you got all of heaven backing you up when you make your decision to be God. Okay? When your decision is God, you cannot fail. You will fail your way to Him. Okay? So just let me say this too. So what I notice about that, and I'm going to go into this part because this is it's going to depend on your faith. And something God taught me most recently about faith was so powerful and so divine. It takes you back to Peter, when Peter was walking on the water. Okay? So whoever had, like, I hope somebody else, when God showed me this through this video, I said, wow. Okay, I had to share this, because people, we talk about we may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. But then consistency is key, right? So consistency is saying that you're going to keep doing it. Not that you're going to do the same thing over and over again, because that's the form of insanity. But that you're going to be consistent in your faith, right? Now, consistency in faith means that you have to have endurance. Now, one thing I learned about Peter and Peter being on the boat is it's not that Peter did not have endurance. Okay, so what happened with Peter was, not the fact that Peter didn't have faith. Let me go back. Okay, it's the fact that Peter ran out of endurance. It's like his faith ran out of gas. Let's say it like that. Because endurance means that you know how to stay in it. That means when you're in a 5K run, you're on a 5K run. You're not on a 2K. You're not on a 3K. You signed up for a 5K. So if you stop at a 2K, you just ran out of gas. Right? So some people's faith runs out of gas. And so when Peter was on the water and everybody else was in the boat, when he saw Jesus, that was his motivation to get out that boat. And when Jesus was basically standing there with his hand out, and Peter was looking like, I'm coming. That's God, that's Lord, that's Jesus. I'm going, no matter what. But then as he started walking on the water, he stopped and his feet started to sink. Why? Because he ran out of faith. He ran out of faith that he can walk on that water. He stopped to think about something. What did he stop to do? He stopped to think fearfully. He stopped to think in fear. Okay? And then when Jesus said, basically when Jesus said, ye of little faith, he does not mean that you don't have big faith. Now, faith is required to be just a faith as big as a seed of a mustard seed. That's all the faith you need in order to get through life. Right? But to get through life, not to get halfway and stop. You don't need but this much faith to keep going. But when you stop, that's little. That's a little faith, not a lot. Because you stopped. You didn't go the distance. You didn't stay the course. So your faith ran out. Okay? So that's why they say faith without works is dead. Because you got to keep working that thing and working that thing and working that thing. Okay? So one thing about it is they say that faith and fear basically want the same thing. Fear, right, wants you to basically hope, and basically you're hoping for something that you probably can't ever get. Right? It's fear. I'll never get that. Right? Faith is, I don't know if I'll get that. Fear is, I don't know if I can get that. I don't know if I can obtain that. Faith is, I don't know if I can get that. I don't know if I can obtain that. But if I walk by faith and not by fear, I have a better chance of making it to where God is trying to get me to. Because really what you don't understand is that you don't have to walk alone. Right? The whole time God is with you. The reason that you're walking so far is because you're shedding frequencies and things that you no longer need if you're choosing to serve with God. So now you have to continue to walk so that he can transform you, so that he can redeem you, so that he can regenerate you. Meaning that now he's taking you to the next level of resetting you and making you new. Meaning turning your new old wine into new wineskins. Right? So he's preparing you for whatever next is. Now in the process of, you might get flashes about what you can see and where your life could be. Flashes of a beautiful home. Flashes of a nice car. Right? But just because you're getting flashes of those things, does not mean that you have to go out to obtain them on your own. God is going to make the way out of no way. But what is the point of having a car that you cannot afford? What is the point of having a house that you will not clean? So until he cleans you and takes all those unclean things out of you, then you'll be able to be grateful for what he has given you. But if you're moving too fast and not waiting on God, not taking your foot off the gas, but letting God take you where you need to go, then therefore now you're standing in the middle of a situation that you have no idea of how you got there. Because somewhere along the way, you start to follow pride instead of God. Somewhere along the way, you start to follow that relationship instead of God. Somewhere along the way, you start to follow the money instead of God. So therefore, you're standing in the middle Oh, I love it. Thank you, Holy Spirit. You're standing in the middle of a situation that needs prayer. Because now you don't know where you are. You got lost while you was following God. Right? But the thing that God showed me about being lost is that you're never lost. You're never in a place that God can't find you. Your lost is not the fact that God don't know where you are. Your lost is the fact that you don't understand where you are. And the reason you don't understand where you are is because you stopped following God. Okay? So in this season, you have to continue to stay the course. Stay the course. Trust God, no matter what it looks like. Now, another thing that I was able to understand about all of this is that we get to a point in our life where we don't understand where we are, what we're doing, and how we're doing it. So that requires trust. That requires that you believe in what God is doing in your life. Now, I said this in another video, and I'm going to continue to say it. This is a time to ask God to give you a believing heart. Okay? Trust me on that. A believing heart.